Our third period. All right, so today is the 11th. And we are dividing exponents. When we multiplied exponents, there was a rule. Multiply your whole number, add your exponents. When you divide exponents, there is a rule. You need to divide or reduce your whole numbers. So when you're dividing exponents, you're going to divide or reduce your whole numbers. And you're going to subtract the exponents. So you divide or reduce your whole numbers, and you subtract your exponents. Now, when you subtract your exponents, there's a very specific way we have to subtract them. I'll show you. Your division of exponents is going to be written in fraction form, like that. That's how they're going to show it. Okay? Now, we don't have any whole numbers, so I've got to worry about reducing anything. But with my exponents, when I subtract my exponent, the number on top, I have to write down first, minus the number on the bottom. So the number on top, I write down first, minus the number on the bottom. Well, what's 9 minus 4?
5.
So my answer is x to the 5th. I'm videoing.
I didn't know it was flying in at me. Help me.
I thought something was...
I thought it was a rock.
I thought
there were rocks at me.
I thought something fell, and then I thought, is a bird really flying in?
I did think of it.
Okay, Comer was giving you guys some treats.
Well, she didn't get all of us, what?
Well, she stopped because I'm videoing.
Why did you call her?
All right, here we go. So a few of you got treats. All right, now, want you to watch, want you to follow with this. So here's our next problem. (9x cubed over 3x). Now, I have whole numbers. Can I reduce 9 over 3? Will it reduce? Yes. What does it reduce to? Just 3. Okay? Now, I've taken care of my whole numbers. My whole numbers is done. Now I've got to look at my exponents. What do you do to your exponents when you're dividing? Subtract. And you have to subtract. You have to say, okay, the 3 goes down first, minus what? 1. Good. What is 3 minus 1?
2.
So your answer is 3x squared. Okay, here's our next problem. A little bit different. A little more added on to this. Now, when you're doing these problems, take care of your whole number first. Remember, it's not glued to that exponent and that variable. It's just sitting beside it. 2/4. Will 2/4 reduce? Will that number reduce? What does it reduce to? 1/2. Your whole number is finished. It's done. It's good. Now look at your x's. Your x's is 6 minus 3. What is 6 minus 3? Your y's. What do I reduce? What do I subtract with my y's? 4 minus 2. What's 4 minus 2? And that's how your answer is going to look. Now there's something very important. We cannot have a negative exponent in our answer. Okay? Now, you can have a negative whole number, but you can't have a negative exponent. You can, listen, when you have a negative exponent, don't panic. There's an easy solution to it. Okay? There's a big long word called the multiplicative inverse property. We don't really care what it's called. We just want to know how to fix it. Okay? Which means we're going to flip something. Okay? We're going to watch with an example. So if I had x to the 4th and x over x to the 9th. I do not have any whole numbers. I don't have to worry about reducing, but I have to subtract my exponents. I'm going to say 4 minus 9. Well, when I say 4 minus 9, what's that going to give me? It's going to give you negative 5. Well, if I could write a 5, it would be helpful. It's going to give you negative 5. So right now, this is what my problem looks like. I don't want you to leave that step out. I want you to see this step, x to the negative 5th. Now, that can't be your final answer. So when you see that, you go, okay, I can't have a negative exponent in my answer. So I'm going to fix it. And to fix it, you put a 1 on top. And you bring x to the 5th to the bottom. And that's like multiplying it times a negative 1, or, you're flipping it, okay, the multiplicative inverse property. But all you need to know is how to fix it. Later on, you can know everything about it. You don't need to know everything about it this year. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, listen, here's the one thing I saw 4th period doing. When you put this on the bottom, don't put the negative sign. You're flipping it, you're putting it on the bottom to make it positive. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Here's our next problem. A squared b over a to the 4th b cubed. Some at the high school. All right, I'm going to look at my a's separate from my b's. So my a's, I have 2 minus 4. What is 2 minus 4? Negative 2. So right now my A is a negative 2. Then I'm going to look at my B's. My B's is 1 minus 3. What is 1 minus 3? Negative 2. B is also negative 2. So you look at that and go, wait a minute, that can't be my final answer. Okay, I know how to fix that. I'm going to put a 1 on top, and I'm going to have a squared, b squared on the bottom. Okay, so we look at this one. If you hear a pecking noise, you're not going crazy. It's something at the high school. Okay? You're not losing your mind. Well, you might be losing your mind, but it's not because of hearing that pecking noise. All right, so I don't have a whole number. I don't have to worry about reducing anything. So I'm gonna look at my m's. I'm gonna say, okay, my m's. I say -1 minus 3. -1 minus 3 is going to give me what? -4. So my m is a -4. Then I'm going to look at my n's. N's. 2 minus 1. Well, what is 2 minus 1? 1. My n is a 1. So then you look at that and you're going to, wait a minute, I cannot have a negative exponent in my problem. Now remember, m and n are not attached, they're just sitting beside each other. Which one do I move? Which one has to go to the bottom? M. N stays right where it's at on top. It's positive, we're happy with it. M has to come to the bottom. Do you see how you can move one without the other? They're not connected, they're just sitting beside each other. Okay? Alright, I want you to open up your Chromebooks to Google Classroom. And you have it's dividing exponents. So we're going to do several of these together. Everybody find it? On Google Classroom, dividing of exponents, you go ahead and get your sheet of paper out. We're going to go over several of these. And you're going to have a few you're going to do. Dividing exponents. Okay, if I look at number 1, we're going to write down number 1. What's different about number 1 than any that we had in examples? Doesn't have an X. For some reason, I don't know why, not know why. For some reason, they throw these in just to see if you know what to do with the exponent. Okay? If I was solving this problem, I'd say 5 over 5 is 1. But they don't want you to do that. If you do not have a variable, if you don't have a letter in your problem, and you have the same number on top as you do on the bottom, you're just going to come over here to the side and write a 5. All they're wanting to know is, do you know the exponent rule? Well, what do I say? I say 4 minus what? What is 4 minus 1? Look at number 2, write it down. Crows are laughing at us. I have 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top. I do not have a variable, so I'm just going to pull the 3 out. All they're doing, they're wanting to know, hey, do you know the exponent rule? Well, what am I subtracting on this? What am I writing down? 1 minus 3. What is 1 minus 3? Negative 2. Then you look at that and you say, well, wait a minute. I can't have a negative 2. So I'm going to put a 1 on top and 3 squared on the bottom. All right, let's look at number 5. These are more like questions you're going to see on your EOG. You will have some type of division of exponents on your EOG. 5, I have a whole number, 3 over 2. Can I reduce 3 over 2? Can I reduce that? If you can't reduce it, just rewrite it. If you can't reduce it, there's nothing you can do to it. So just rewrite it. Now you've taken care of your whole number. So then my r's, I'm going to say what? 3 minus 1. And what is 3 minus 1? So it's positive, gets to stay on top. That's our answer. So number 6, 7k squared over 4k to the third. Avery Sigmund, this is your problem. Tell me what I'm going to do with this.
You're going to take the 3 and 2, or the 7 and 4 and move them over.
Yeah, I can't reduce them. I'm just going to rewrite them. Okay.
And you'll take and put the k beside the 7.
Got to do something first. I don't know if it's going to get set up there with that 7 or not. What do I need to do? What do I need to do with my exponents? Okay, how do I write it down, Avery?
2 minus 3.
2 minus 3. All right. What is 2 minus 3?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Uh-oh.
You can't have a negative.
So where does k go? It don't get to go on the top. Where does it have to go? If you want to write the positive 1 with it, you can. All right, number 7. Miguel, this is your problem. Tell me what I'm going to do with it.
The bottom of 10 minus 6.
What will it reduce to?
5 and 3.
5 and 3. 2 will go into both of those. That'll reduce to 5/3. Very good. Now what do I do?
Let's subtract p 4 and 1.
4 minus 1 gives me what?
3
P to the third. Where does it get to go?
on top.
On top. Excellent. And that's your answer. Number 8. Number 8. Tristan, that's your problem. Tell me what I'm going to do to that one.
Well, you would write your 3 and your 2.
Nope, they're not going to reduce, so I'm just going to rewrite it.
And then you would do 1 minus 3.
B 1 minus 3 is?
Negative 2. So you put b negative 2 next to the 2.
So I put negative 2?
No, positive.
Yes. You're going to put it on the bottom. It can't sit on the top, but you make sure you change that to a positive. All right, number 9. 8m3, 10m3. Avery Light, this is your problem. Tell me what I'm going to do to it. Okay, what are they going to reduce to? 4/5. Okay, how am I going to subtract this one? 3 minus 3. What is 3 minus 3, Avery? Okay, look guys, what do I have here? M to the 0. What does anything raised to the 0 power turn into? 1. That means the m's are gone. My answer is just 4/5. Number 10, Zach, this is your problem. Tell me what I'm going to do with it.
So 7 and 2 cannot reduce.
Correct.
And 3 minus 5 will be negative 2.
Okay, good.
And then negative 2 will be on the bottom.
Is it going to be a negative or a positive?
Oh, positive, sorry.
Very good, guys. All right. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to do number 12. Do it on the paper we've been working on. 13, 14, 16, 18. 12, 13, 14, 16, 18. I'm going to give you a hint. All of those whole numbers will reduce. 5 problems. Take time. Go slow with it. Think about what you're doing. Think about your rules. Your rule is divide or reduce your whole number. Subtract your exponents. Can't have any negative exponents in your answer. When you finish that, work on your weekly. Okay, everybody good? All right.